Chai Chat with Lavina, where we're discussing the mystery behind Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose death, whether he died, whether he didn't die. The table is divided here on it. But I do want to also understand why this interest in this part of history. Is there any political involvement here at all? Should I start with you, Kusunji?
Well, the irony of it all is that this happened during the World War II. And while our soldiers were fighting here, our national leaders were being marched into prisons in India. And I think the idea of softly fighting with the British perhaps was not a very hot issue. And Subhash Chandra Bose came with this idea of having this Indian National Army, which sort of put a push into the fight against the British as well as fighting with the British. And this is the tragedy of this whole era. And though Subhash Chandra didn't fight any battles, he was an inspiration. And people like me who grew up in that period of freedom fight, I was completely taken back by his sort of completely new way of fighting the British.
All this mystery of what happened to him,
yes,
devalues from that. You know, it distracts from what Bose did, why he did it, what he stood for, the policies he followed, you know, the ideas he had, which are huge. You know, my book, for instance, when I first started writing my book, when I went to the National Archives in Delhi, I was given a little brochure by one of the chaps there. He said, you know, Subhash Bose will reappear, you know, you must go to this function. And you know, let me tell you, let me read to you what Uttam Chand said. And when I asked Uttam Chand, if Subhash Bose will be more than 80 now, he said he's Lord Krishna. He can be 150, he's immortal. You know, you are dealing here with one element of fantasy which does not allow us to appreciate how great a figure Subhash Bose was.
Okay, I will just add, and then Anirban, I'll come to you, and you have your your word and your time. Is this a long part of the debate of how I have understood from your own foundation people are that he actually was consulted and was constantly a part and parcel of the political scene of India as well. So probably, well, there was some risk. Yes, go on,
I don't want to
Anirban.
get into that because that's again not established. So that's that. So I don't want to get into that.
Yes, go on.
But what I strongly object to is the fact that just because we are talking about whether he died or not, that takes all the credit out of it. No, it's the particular point of view that you guys talk about how great he was. Don't worry about his death. We have taken care of it. So that's the mindset we are challenging. No, you have not taken care of that. You have not declassified the files. There are files to declassify. You have not done that. So we need to know the truth. If he died, yes, we will accept. But there is a Mukherjee Commission report which went through everything and then decided that he did not die. Why did you reject the file and the report? Give us a strong reason why.
Why was the report rejected, Mihir?
What, the Mukherjee Commission report?
Yeah.
The Mukherjee Commission report was neither accepted nor rejected. The Mukherjee Commission report was the most worthless judicial report ever. I covered the inquiry. If you read, I read the report in great detail.
It's a bit unfair
to say that. I attended the hearing. I don't know if you attended the hearing.
It's a bit unfair to say that the report that says
it is full of contradiction.
What I'm trying to say is the whole point is that talk about his life, how great he was, don't talk about his death because that's the
okay, we have
and let's have everything on board and let's see what happens.
Just because we're studying his death doesn't take away from his life. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? How do you make that link? I want to currently explore his death because there is controversy. You can't say it's a shut and closed case.
okay. We have had documents on another colleague of ours, Ashish Ray, on his bosefiles.com, which are interaction between Russia and Indian government that say that probably he was dead. Now, why would you want the declassification to happen? Forget about death or no death. You would want the declassification?
If there are documents available, certainly you would.
So this classification, I will again clarify to everybody who is watching as well, is the declassification of documents during 1945 of interaction between Russia and India and Japan and India. Is that what we are talking? Which we are looking forward to in January 2016.
45 onwards. So basically
onwards till whatever time.
Hang on.
So who's going to?
Hang on. It can't be 45. There was no Indian government between 45 and 47, 15th of August 47. If there were any documents, they would be between the British government and Russia and Japan and what happened? Japan. So they would not have been. They would not have been. Those documents are all in the India Office Library and record. There wouldn't have been any Indian.
Isn't that the very reason to speculate that the government, the Indian government said that if we close them,
No, but they don't have. But the India government does not come into being till 47. So how
But
did it get any
you
documents?
have met
the
the...
British government has something.
The British government has said we have no more documents. That's very clear. And there are no more documents. Mukherjee Commission went
So
through
why
it.
do they say that it has spoiled our relationship?
British government doesn't say that.
No, no.
You may be talking of documents after 47. That's what this gentleman is talking of documents from 45. I was merely pointing out that between 45 and 47, it would be British government, not the Indian government. There wasn't an Indian government.
As a scientist, I would straight away go to DNA and find out.
Exactly. So,
There is no other way of.
I mean, the DNA is a simple thing. The DNA on the ashes. That's very simple.
Yeah, and that's
Absolutely. That would prove. Okay, if it's not the ashes, it would prove it's not the ashes.
See, we should be all asking for the DNA. Rather than declassification, DNA of the ashes.
That would
How's
prove
that?
simply, right?
that's also part of the kind of demand. So,
But you see,
Okay, that's the part of your
the
demand
Bose
as well.
family.
We can definitely conclude. Last word now from everybody. Very quickly, 2 lines. What is it that you would want to happen?
Well, I would just want Indians to stop this fantasy. You know, this is a total expenditure of money and time. Concentrate on what Bose did and build up a proper narrative of how the modern India has emerged and what India has achieved, much more than what Indians give themselves credit for.
DNA of ashes, no?
DNA will be something like that face mapping thing. It will not say this way or that. Okay, it will say it's a very old DNA, not maintained properly and all this. These are all.
But that still could happen.
That's what I'm saying. So DNA doesn't take the demand for declassification of the files because we need to understand the context also what happens. So the full declassification we need, including the police files, ID files and everything to understand what happened to him.
Okay, Siddharth, and then quickly I also want to then ask, okay, well, first you answer.
For the record, I also want to say I do not think he's alive, okay? And that's just crazy. People who think that are crazy. I believe there's more to the story, obviously. I don't think he died in 45. I want to see the files declassified without any tampering. So that's the big story. I also do not believe he would hide away, as she said, and just, what was he doing? It doesn't make any sense. It's a big mystery.
Yeah, the mystery continues.
I just want the proof from the classified information and truth, but I don't want any half truth. And I still think that he should be recognized as one of our leaders who inspired a whole generation of people. He deserves to be given a send-off, but I think it should be established one way or the other.
And DNA, you'll
Absolutely. 100%.
and DNA, you would also.
I would like that, but I do believe that it has been said by an American expert, it might not have enough material.
For the. Okay, very quickly, Prime Minister Modi is going to Moscow, and this makes the entire topic very relevant at that point in time, very recently. Do you think he should take this topic up with Putin? Or of declassification, let's say?
Putin will straight away say, you guys first sort out your own house and come.
Well, the evidence that Ashish Ray has produced, the Indian government has for years been knocking on the Russians' door. The Russians have said there's no material here. So I don't see why Modi will get a different answer.
Okay?
No, the Russians can say what they like to hide, whatever they want to hide. I mean, how do you know they're the truth, telling the truth, that they don't have it, or telling the truth that they have it? We don't know.
Thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate all of you coming this far for Chai Chat for so late. We do here believe that a DNA still should be carried out on Netaji's ashes, but all eyes are set more so on the declassification of the document that has been promised by the Indian government in January 2016. Also, we would see whether this will be raised in Moscow by Prime Minister Modi. But of course, the most important is the declassification, which would rest maybe the entire mystery and the whole curiosity behind Subhash Chandra or Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's death. The big mystery death that we have been discussing about in Bangalore Express in the heart of London. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Next week I will see you, but if you want to send me a feedback, please Twitter me at Lavina Tandon or write an email to me on chaichat@aajtak.com. Take care. God bless.